An emotional evening in Georgetown as the community comes together to remember an old friend killed in the Orlando shootings. How they not only remember DJ Burt, but all of those victims.
3 bodies found in 2 different homes in Franklin County. Why investigators believe the deaths could be connected.
I think a fresh start's a good idea.
Senator Mitch McConnell weighs in on the governor's decision to reorganize U of L's board. There's one thing he hopes doesn't change.
This is WKYT News at 11.
What a warm, nice weekend. Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. We are tracking more great weather tomorrow. We begin with WKYT's Mike Linden and the no-wait weather forecast.
Great might be an understatement, Kristen. 85 or some odd degrees this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. Humidity was low, and still we are going strong even into the late evening hours. We look at the Defender radar network. There is some very thin cloud cover now working its way into Anderson and Franklin counties, but regardless, this isn't going to impact you very much overnight tonight and into tomorrow. High pressure still built up over the Midwest, and that's going to keep us, for the most part, clear of cloud cover, and that should continuously encourage the mild temperatures overnight tonight. Most spots right now in the mid-70s. A few spots, though, really beginning to drop off now. Pulaski County at 70, Montgomery County at 68. We are seeing the spots, though, over like Franklin County and Jefferson County that is seeing the cloud cover this evening, keeping things somewhat regulated. Regardless, it's still great through the evening hours. But coming up, I will take you through a Father's Day and the start of the summer season on Monday with what looks to be a very nice start to the summer season. A little speed bump in the way early in the work week. I'll show you what that is coming up.
Thousands of people packed Orlando's Camping World Stadium tonight for a soccer game. It's the first major event with big crowds since Sunday's deadly nightclub attack. The crowd sent a powerful message. They wore the colors of the rainbow. Their tribute comes as families lay several of the 49 victims to rest.
Hopefully it shows unity and that we're there for the families and the victims, that we stand with them.
Thousands are expected to gather at the city's main lake for a fundraiser and vigil tomorrow, marking the 1-week anniversary of the shooting. Here in central Kentucky, dozens remembered one of the victims who spent many years in Scott County. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner shows us how they honored Daryl Burt in our top story at 11.
I pray for you, you pray for me.
It's like it's almost still not real, but I know it's happened.
Hundreds of miles from the Orlando shooting, a community still grieving.
We're a community of family. We love one another. When one hurts, we all hurt. It doesn't matter if you're black, blue, green, or yellow. It doesn't matter if you're gay or straight.
One by one, community members read names of those killed in the Orlando shooting.
Although I heard them on the television over and over again, but hearing them in person just kind of brings it more home and makes it more real.
Daryl Roman Burt II.
Daryl Burt, known as DJ, lived in Georgetown for several years. Old friends still shocked he's gone.
These people, they're young people, you know, he was my age, and they're gone just for a senseless reason, and I don't think anybody can understand it.
He always called me Miss D. He called me Miss D, and he was always wondering about stuff.
Burt's Sunday school teacher read a tribute to him.
I have been praying to the Lord all week. What words do you want me to say?
She read words his younger brother had written.
I hope you're having a blast in heaven and handling business up there. I'll keep things running down here.
The community saying they won't anger in this time of tragedy.
I want to lift up every one of those families, dear Lord Jesus.
In Georgetown, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Funeral arrangements for Burt are set. His homegoing service will be June 25th at noon in Virginia. The victims of the Orlando shooting were on the minds of people at Louisville's Kentuckiana Pride Festival today. Organizers expected between 15,000 and 17,000 people to attend. They had extra security out there in the wake of the Orlando nightclub shooting. Every person who entered the event had to go through a bag check and get an armband. Lexington's Pride Festival is next weekend. To see how the city is increasing security for the event, head over to WKYT.com. Investigators in Franklin County are trying to figure out if a double murder and a suicide are connected. Deputies found 2 women dead inside a home on Pea Ridge Road last night. They say someone shot both in the head. Our news partners at the Herald Leader report Frankfort police are investigating what looks like a suicide. They found a man's body at a home on Washington Street. Police believe the 2 cases are connected, but deputies would not talk about that possibility.
There should be a medical examiner report Monday, and the sheriff is planning on giving a little more detail than what we have at this point.
We do not know the names of the victims. The State Journal reports 2 of them are related. State police in southern Kentucky are searching for a shooter tonight. Around 1 this morning, troopers found a man in the middle of Right Fork East Creek Road in Knox County. They say someone shot him. They took him to a nearby hospital where he died. A man who lives in the area says 3 people came up to his door looking for someone. Moments later, he heard gunshots outside his window. We do not know the name of the man who died. Sheriff's deputies in Johnson County have arrested a man accused of shooting at his wife and child. Deputies say 24-year-old Charles Blankenship came home last night high on meth. They believe Blankenship and his wife got into an argument and that he shot at his wife 3 times. She and her child escaped.
I came to smoke a cigarette and I heard a just bang, bang, and I thought, that's a gunshot. And I knew it came from this 2-story house down the road here.
We're told Blankenship would not come out of the home. Deputies and state police eventually entered and arrested him. Deputies say they found several pills, a bag of meth, and marijuana. New tonight, state police are investigating a deadly crash in Madison County. The coroner says around 1:30 today, 41-year-old Dorothy Stewart was driving on Barnes Mill Road when she lost control. The coroner says she died at the scene. 2 other people in the car went to UK hospital. The coroner believes excessive speed was a factor in the crash. The state police say 1 woman is dead after a crash in Pike County. Troopers say 87-year-old Frida Taylor tried to turn onto US 119 from Kentucky Route 292, but ended up pulling out in front of another car. Taylor died from her injuries. Troopers do not think she was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. We've learned tonight a 2nd person injured in a crash earlier this week in Nelson County has died. The sheriff says 30-year-old Jessica Clowers was a passenger in a minivan that went across the median of the Bluegrass Parkway and hit a semi. 35-year-old Douglas Clowers was also a passenger. He died Tuesday. We do not know what condition the driver of the van is in tonight. The driver of the semi was not seriously hurt. There are some big changes in the works for the University of Louisville. Yesterday, Governor Matt Bevin announced he is removing all but 3 members from the university's board. He also said the university's president, James Ramsey, has agreed to resign. Ramsey had been at U of L for 14 years. We're now hearing from one of the university's most powerful alums. Senator Mitch McConnell says Ramsey's long tenure has made U of L a better place. At the same time, he says he agrees with the governor's actions.
I do think the governor did the right thing by clearing the board off. It's been a source of dissension and confusion both within the university and out in the community for a couple of years. So I think a fresh start's a good idea. Whether Jim Ramsey needs to be a part of a fresh start, I would like for the new board to consider that.
McConnell also says the improvements under Ramsey at Louisville have been what he calls spectacular, despite the university's recent controversies. A petition is going around Louisville pushing to rename the city's airport for Muhammad Ali. The petition on change.org wants the Louisville International Airport to become the Muhammad Ali International, with the 3-letter airport code ALI.
Muhammad Ali was a connector of people, and what do airports do? They connect people.
The airport is currently going through a major renovation project. The executive director of the Louisville Regional Airport Authority says a name change decision rests with the board. He adds that changing an airport name is not that uncommon. Still ahead on WKYT, they're teaming up to take on cancer. We'll show you teams swimming, biking, and running to raise money.
At Frank Shoup, we use market-based pricing, which means we scan literally hundreds of other dealers' websites and then price our inventory below other stores.
No inflated prices here. You get the best price right up front at Frank Shoup in Georgetown.
Finally, a delicious pecan chicken salad sandwich, just like Mom used to make. When Mom was the Arby's Employee of the Month. Arby's, we have the meats.
It's not too big and it's not too small.
Chevrolet's crossovers come in 3 sizes: Trax, Equinox, and Traverse.
Who wants to sit in it?
I do.
Shotgun.
Oh, wow.
This car matches me. I like this. It's a perfect fit.
Get more than you expect for less than you imagine from the Chevrolet crossover family.
Qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 60 months on this 2016 Chevy Equinox. Plus, find your tag to get an extra $1,500 cash allowance on select Equinox in stock.
Who says mornings can't be happy? Not us. Introducing the DQ Hardest Working Happy Hour, with drinks that work even harder than you do, blending sweet flavors like never before. Only DQ has drinks that multitask in the morning even if you can't. Like $2 premium fruit smoothies, $2 ultimate frappes, and $1 iced coffees. Every weekday morning until 10:30 a.m. at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Experience for yourself the fun and excitement of the Kentucky Splash Water Park in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Enjoy our 18,000 square foot wave pool, lazy river, or any of our exciting slides for only $10. Kentucky Splash Water Park off I-75 in Williamsburg.
Oh, Jell-O, America. You know what sounds better than me? Prime rib for $13.99. Bravo! Premium weekends at Golden Corral are making an encore performance. Slice into endless prime rib, carved teriyaki sirloin, premium jumbo butterfly shrimp, and glazed salmon. Dinner's just $13.99. All right, don't fiddle around. Let's eat. Premium weekends only at Golden Corral.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know. Frank Shoot, Frank Shoot, Frank Shoot, Shoot.
Shop Frank Shoop in Georgetown for your next vehicle.
Bring on the competition. Frank Shoop is gonna set the pace.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden.
It has certainly been a beautiful day in the Bluegrass. Today, or this weekend rather, is the final weekend officially of the spring season, but it has felt and looked a lot more like the summer, and that is a trend that is going to continue right into Father's Day. Check out the Defender Radar Network. Really not seeing very much of anything right now, although there are some thin clouds, the first thin clouds at least showing up on radar that we have pretty much seen all day today over the Bluegrass, and that's thanks to high pressure built up over the Midwest, keeping us clear of most of that cloud cover, keeping us dry and keeping us comfortable as well. We look to the northwest though, over the Montana area, beginning to work its way toward the Midwest. Still quite a few days away, but this frontal system gets here on Tuesday, and that will bring us some major changes. Not only some active weather, but of course cooler air as well. Still quite a few days away from that. Until then, high pressure going to continue to dominate. The mid to low 70s still into the evening hours. Louisville and Jefferson County, 80 degrees. Now we are seeing temperatures slowly dropping off, but bear in mind, we are still warmer than where we were at this time yesterday by almost 5 degrees in Franklin County, Fayette County, and Boyle County. This is a trend that's going to continue into Father's Day and into Monday. We're just going to continue to build upon the previous day as temperatures continue to warm up. Take a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. We'll start you off just a few minutes ago and fast forward into tomorrow, starting out in the low 70s. If you have a tea time for Dad tomorrow morning, it looks like it should be great weather to hit the links. The low 70s, the humidity going to be low once again. Should be a wonderful day to go golfing, or at least the wonderful start to our day. Into the afternoon, if you're getting some yard work done for Dad, most spots getting back to the mid to high 80s, much like where we were today. A chance at some showers over northern Kentucky. That does include Franklin County as well into Sunday afternoon. If we do see any showers, these will be short-lived, and that will continue pretty much right up and into the late night hours of Father's Day. Monday, the first official day of the summer season, going to continue to warm up, getting back to the mid to high 80s, potentially even the low 90s for quite a few spots out there. As far as the threat for rain goes, tomorrow a chance for some showers, but as I mentioned at the top of the forecast, that cold front near Montana, that gets here on Tuesday, and with it, we are looking at not only rain, but thunderstorms as well. So your Father's Day is looking fantastic to close out the spring season into the start of summer on Monday, potentially the low 90s and upper 80s. Kristen, that humidity returns, so it'll go back to really feeling like the summer, and at least officially at that time it will be.
Looks like you got a few storm chances on there too.
Once we get past that, though, things do calm down into the second half.
Good to hear. Thank you, Mike. The second annual Survive the Night Triathlon is in the books. Dr. Jonathan Fedek put together the event to promote fitness and fight cancer. This year, 200 people on 24 teams joined the fight. As a team, participants ran, biked, and swam 140.7 miles. Triathlon started last night and wrapped up this afternoon. The NBA draft invites are out. What's the outlook for Alex Poitras? WK has it next in Game Time.
I was on a bad road before I got put in foster care.
Now, through a new program,
We just wanted to do something innovative. We wanted to do something impactful.
she's able to give back to those who helped her.
I wouldn't be in college if I hadn't been put in foster care.
Fostering Success, Monday at 6 on WKYT. Kentucky mornings start here. Breaking and overnight news, weather to plan your day, plus traffic you can take with you. Make WKYT This Morning part of your Kentucky morning. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7 on WKYT.
Go all out, make Dad's day. Right now, buy one, get one free on most suits and more. Non-iron shirts are 3 for $99.99. Designer denim is 2 for $100, and other great gifts are just $29.99. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
What famous American has covered more territory than any other? Hint, it's not a person. Celebrate 75 years of endless adventure today at the Jeep Drive and Discover event. One drive and you'll discover why Jeep is the most awarded best-selling SUV brand. Returning FCA US lessees get $6,000 total cash allowance on the purchase of the 2016 Jeep Cherokee Limited.
I love these new bacon chili cheese conies. Bacon and cheese, two great things coming together.
I know, man, just like this car. Part sedan, part pickup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although, technically, there's chili on here, so it's really three great things.
Just like this car. Part truck, part car, part chick magnet.
Okay, but there's no women around.
Yeah, because magnets attract and repel. Hey, girl. No? Cool.
It's 4 things in one. The $5 Sonic Boombox featuring a hot dog, junior cheeseburger, side, and a drink. This is how you Sonic.
The renovation is complete, and we're celebrating with mega deals this month on all Silverados. Plus, get our lifetime powertrain guarantee at no extra charge. Browse over 1,000 vehicles on dancummins.com and drive to Paris for your Dan Cummins deal.
Well, I would recommend Critchfield Meats to anybody that's looking for a quality product and a quality shopping experience. I've never walked in the front door when I wasn't greeted. They appreciate my business, and I appreciate that as a customer.
Go all out, make Dad's day. Right now, buy one, get one free on most suits and more. Non-iron shirts are 3 for $99.99. Designer denim is 2 for $100, and other great gifts are just $29.99. Men's Warehouse. Rise to the occasion.
Coming up on this pre-NBA draft edition of Game Time, at least 2 Wildcats will be hanging out in the green room on Thursday. We'll tell you who's attending basketball's biggest night. A couple of former Wildcats are hosting football camps this weekend. We'll check in with them. And a former Lexington legend makes his MLB debut for the Cincinnati Reds. Those highlights and more coming up on WKYT Game Time. Two Kentucky Wildcats are among the 14 players invited to attend the NBA draft next week. Jamal Murray and Scala Bissiere, both projected lottery picks. Now here are the 14 players invited to the green room at the Barclays Center, according to Yahoo Sports. Tyler Eulis, you see, did not receive an invite, but he is expected to hear his name called in the first round. Yahoo is reporting that as many as 3 more players could be added by Sunday. Alex Poitras has been the busiest Wildcat over the past several weeks. He's worked out for 9 NBA teams, including the Dallas Mavericks today. He still has scheduled workouts with the Celtics and the Clippers before Thursday. Well, draft experts have been saying Poitras has improved his stock, and he could possibly creep into the second round on Thursday night.
I think he's a possible second-round pick because he's an elite athlete, and I think he can defend multiple positions. And I actually hear he's shot it pretty well in workouts, and that's what he projects as a guy coming off the bench, playing great defense and hitting some spot-up threes. If he can just do that, I think he has a long career in the NBA. It's the question about, will he be a great three-point shooter that teams are concerned about.
Randall Cobb says that he's starting to feel a little bit old. The 25-year-old was one of 15 players named to the veterans list by Packers head coach Mike McCarthy and excused from Packers mandatory minicamp this week. Instead of practicing his game, well, Cobb spent 2 days in Green Bay this week hosting a football camp for kids. Cobb is staying active during the offseason, however, with training camp just now about a month away.
Right now it's all just helmets. Once we get back to training camp, it's about putting the pads on and getting after it and start building our team, 2016 team, through minicamp or through training camp. But this time right now, leading up to training camp is where we get in our hard training, our intense training, and being prepared whenever we get back for camp.
Former Wildcat champ Kelly held his 6th annual champ camp in Lexington this weekend. Kelly is now the director of pro scouting for the Chicago Bears. Several other Wildcats helped out, including former UK coach Guy Morris helping out with the offensive line instruction. Dougie Allen and Leonard Burris working out with the wide receivers, and John Connor, Anthony White, and Braxton Kelly shared duties with the running backs. All right, stalled by rain in the first round, the U.S. Open is nearly back on schedule and poised for a big finish out on Sunday. Well, play was stopped before the completion of today's round due to darkness. Jason Day had a hot start in the third round by making his 4th birdie in 5 holes here. Day finishes at 1 over. Dustin Johnson, his 2nd to the par 4 first. And what a shot this was. Watch as Johnson leaves himself just about 5 feet for birdie. He would make the birdie. Johnson was at 2 under when play was suspended. After 6 straight pars to open his round, Andrew Landry curls the birdie putt in at the 7th. Landry was at 3 under when play was halted. Shane Lowry, though, is the man to catch. Lowry makes birdie at the 7th. He's at 5 under, good enough for a 2-stroke lead. The third round was suspended due to darkness. Play, though, resumes Sunday at 7 a.m. A new team was crowned state baseball champion tonight here in Lexington. And a former UK baseball coach, Gary Henderson, is officially headed to Starkville. That's next on Game Time.
WKYT's Game Time is brought to you by Frank Shoup, Chevy, Buick, Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge. And by Cardinal, Chevy, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac.
At Frank Shoup, we use market-based pricing, which means we scan literally hundreds of other dealers' websites and then price our inventory below other stores.
No inflated prices here. You get the best price right up front at Frank Shoup in Georgetown.
I just heard my favorite fries are now only $1. Like I needed another reason to want that seasoned, crispy goodness. You guys had me at fries. You guys always get me with the fries. Small, medium, or large fries, only $1, but not for long. Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
Don't miss the Lexington Theater Company's production of Disney and Cameron McIntosh's Mary Poppins, July 14th through 17th at the Opera House.
What does your insurance actually do when it's not doing insurance? What if you could get help with more often? And you could also plan amazing trips, save on event tickets or hotel rooms, even get rescued roadside. You can when you're a member and your insurance is AAA. Insurance that's not just insurance.
Summer's here, but we're the ones bringing the heat.
Consider this your invitation to the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. Right now, returning lessees can purchase and get $5,000 total bonus cash on the 2016 Dodge Challenger SXT.
We're following breaking news.
Our CBS News investigation is sparking strong reactions.
Jeff Begay is at FBI headquarters.
Khalid Williams is along the Syrian border.
Charlie Daggett is on the ground with Kurdish forces.
This could be the best story of the morning.
This is a very big deal for us, and we are really, really psyched about it.
Well, there's a big name in cars that we all know. Frank Shoop, Frank Shoop, Frank Shoop, Shoop.
Shop Frank Shoop in Georgetown for your next vehicle.
Bring on the competition. Frank Shoop is gonna set the pace.
Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $333 million. Former UK coach John Cohen once brought Gary Henderson to Lexington. Well, now Henderson is rejoining Cohen at Mississippi State. Cohen making the announcement official this morning that Henderson will be the Bulldogs pitching coach, the same job that he held when UK won an SEC championship under Cohen back in 2006. Henderson resigned on June the 1st after 8 seasons at UK. Earlier this week, Nick Migione was introduced to replace Henderson. The former Mississippi State assistant was at UK in 2006 and 2007 with John Cohen. Migione wants to return to that same mindset that led UK to the SEC title back in 2006.
A winning culture is something that's really important to me. I want to create a culture where we will mention Omaha daily. I'm one of these people that need to know when I show up every single day, I need to have a plan. I need to know what we're doing. Our players need to understand. So we will mention Omaha on a daily basis. We're trying to get to Omaha, and if you get to Omaha, you have a chance to win a national championship.
It's a good mindset, I'd say. While we're on UK baseball, former Wildcat assistant Greg Goff is the new head coach at Alabama. Goff served as UK's pitching coach under Keith Madison from 1999 to 2003. He spent the past 2 seasons at Louisiana Tech. A solo home run in the 3rd inning was all St. Xavier needed in the championship game of the KHSAA State Baseball Tournament. St. X defeating Campbell County tonight for the state baseball title 1-0. Lexington Legends catcher Chase Velo was having an all-star kind of season. In fact, his .289 average and 8 home runs were good enough to land the 19-year-old on next Tuesday's South Atlantic League All-Star game, which will be played at Velo's home park of Whitaker Bank Ballpark. But in his second at-bat back from an injury, Velo was hit in the mouth by a fastball this past Tuesday. I mean, that just hurts looking at it. He needed 30 stitches to close a cut. He now needs oral surgery to fix some teeth, and Velo will miss the All-Star game and some time after that, saying it's the worst injury he's suffered in his baseball career.
No, not even close. This is the worst baseball injury I've ever had in my life. Hopefully it's the worst that I'll experience, but it's the worst that's ever happened. 4 of my teeth got pushed back into the roof of my mouth, so the dentist had to take her 2 fingers and pull the teeth out, and they had to put a wire across my top teeth, and she said there's a good chance that I could lose some teeth and have to get fake teeth, and then she's going to try to do a root canal to save the teeth. So whatever happens, happens.
Ooh, everyone say it with me. Ouch. Former Lexington legend Cody Reed making his major league debut today, pitching for the Reds in Houston. After giving up an early home run, Reed settles in, striking out Evan Gattis. Reed had 9 strikeouts in 7 innings, but the next time that he faced Gattis in the 7th, now tied at 2, and Gattis unties it with a 2-run shot into the Crawford boxes. Houston on top 4-2. Same score in the 9th inning. Reds down 2. Down to their final out when Adam Duvall comes through with the 2-run home run to tie it up at 4 apiece just over that right field wall. Oh, yeah, he's pumped. We're going to extras. Tied at 4 in the 11th. Houston's George Springer delivers a base hit right up the middle. Here comes Jason Castro, and he's going to beat the throw to home. Astros win in extras 5-4. The NBA Finals wrap up tomorrow night. What did both teams have to say about their chances earlier today? Find out next on Game Time.
Due to the recent torrential hailstorm, many vehicles have been damaged, and we are forced to deeply discount them at Glenn Ford, Glenn Mitsubishi, and Glenn Hyundai of Nicholasville. Small scratches, dings, and dents have forced us to sell these vehicles below market value. It's the hail damage sale at the Glenn dealerships in Nicholasville.
Lexington Overstock Warehouse is open this weekend for our big weekend warehouse sale. Get quality furniture and mattresses at incredibly low prices. Stylish sofa $297. Ashley sectional $597. Go to LexingtonOverstockWarehouse.com for more details.
Everyone is singing praises about essential oils and trying to make their home free of toxic chemicals. Get the facts yourself and learn how Young Living essential oils can help support your family's health and well-being. Visit justonedrop.com for more information and local classes.
DQ funnel cake a la mode? Hold on.
Coming
For the next hours. Cloudy tomorrow.
Funnel cake has a new home. The DQ Bakes new funnel cake a la mode with the world famous DQ soft serve and your favorite topping. This is fan food, not fast food.
Funnel cake a la mode.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on. Push alerts, now available on the WKYT News app.
I just heard my favorite fries are now only $1. Like I needed another reason to want that seasoned, crispy goodness. Small, medium, or large fries, only $1, but not for long. Checkers and Rallies. Fast foodies know the deal.
Due to the recent torrential hailstorm, many vehicles have been damaged, and we are forced to deeply discount them at Glenn Ford, Glenn Mitsubishi, and Glenn Hyundai of Nicholasville. Small scratches, dings, and dents have forced us to sell these vehicles below market value. It's the hail damage sale at the Glenn dealerships in Nicholasville.
When severe storms roll in, we go to work to keep you and your family safe by calling a First Alert Severe Weather Day. Keeping you on top of the storms with continuous coverage on air, on WKYT.com, and wherever you are with our news and weather apps. Plus an experienced weather team ready to alert you when you need to get out of harm's way. Keeping you safe this severe weather season, that's what we stand for. First Alert Severe Weather Days, only on WKYT.
It all comes down to tomorrow night, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Golden State looking to go back-to-back. Cleveland, a chance to erase a 3-1 deficit. The Cavs have been riding the momentum, coming off that Game 6 win in Cleveland. And, of course, now the series goes back to Golden State. Both teams, though, today remain confident with one game left to play.
We've put ourselves in a position to do something special. I mean, it's not – we all can – you guys ask me the questions, but you guys know the answers to them. I mean, if we win – we take care of business. That's, you know, something that our city hasn't had in a very long time. So that's the obvious.
Growing up as a basketball fan, you kind of put yourself in so many Game 7s to win the finals kind of situations and playing with your friends and stuff. And this is my first crack at it.
And that should be an entertaining game to watch. Game 7 tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Will it be Cleveland breaking that losing streak or Golden State going back-to-back? It's anyone's guess at this point. Thanks again for joining us for WKYT Game Time. Good night, Kentucky.